Yo, listen, if you are a man who keeps on starting over, new workout, new year, new me, new fitness plan or diet plan, whatever it may be, this is for you. See, here's the truth. Most men aren't lazy, they're just undisciplined in the areas that actually matter. And nobody actually tells you that, because saying you're lazy is much easier than saying you're unstructured or undisciplined. I work with men who are hard workers, who are fathers, who are husbands, who are leaders in their communities. On the outside, they look good, but internally, they are frustrated. They are overwhelmed. They are consumed with guilt and fear of a failure. They're also wrestling with anxiety, maybe depression, and various different types of mental illnesses that are contributing to burnout and a lack of leadership. And their families are suffering because of all of the different pressures that they have because of the life that they are living or attempting to build for their families. And if that is you, then this is for you. And if that's you, this isn't about motivation. Motivation does not push men forward, discipline does. And so stay with me to the end of this video, and by the end of it, you'll understand and know why you are feeling undisciplined, unstructured, and unmotivated, and why you're not moving forward in your life. So here is a simple truth that no one talks about very often. Motivation fails men, especially men over 30. Now, we can talk about younger men all we want, but right now I want to lock in with men who are in their 30s, because most men typically peak in their 30s. Around 35 is when most men hit their peak, right? And so what happens is that we spend most of our time chasing motivation. I need to feel motivated to work out. I need to feel motivated to start that new diet. I need to feel motivated to fill out that job application. I need to feel motivation to fill in the blank. Reality is that motivation won't get you out of bed in the morning. When you're tired after a long day of work, a long day of work and you're tired, motivation sometimes isn't what's going to get you up to go and play with your kids and be a productive person in your household. Motivation isn't going to push you to want to get that job increase or that job increase or that job pay increase. Motivation is not going to be the key to pushes you. Motivation isn't going to be the key that pushes you into success. Discipline is. Discipline means that you are putting yourself in a position whether you feel like it or not. So the difference will be discipline pushes us forward, especially in the moments when we don't feel like it. When I know I need to get to the gym in the morning, I know that it's cold. I don't feel like getting up in the morning. But what I do know is that I don't have a choice. I'm going to get up and I'm going to do what I need to do, because that's what I made to be on my agenda for the day. That was my non-negotiable for the morning time. When my alarm goes off at 5 a.m., getting up, getting ready to go to the gym. I'm unmotivated to go to the gym, especially when it's cold, but I'm disciplined enough to actually do what is necessary to go to the gym. Not only that, I make up my bed every single morning, because doing those small things, the small habits of discipline are what's going to help you, especially when motivation fails. So that easy area of fixing up your bed every single morning, what it does is it creates habits that you live by, and it helps you in the long run, because what happens is that as you go in life and you have these small areas that are coming up and they're continuously pressing on you, well, then you'll have already built in habits of discipline in small areas to where you can knock out these different areas in your life. Another area that we need to focus in on is discipline versus intensity. So what those two look like, we know what discipline looks like. Discipline is you choosing to do something because it is your standard. It is what you have made to be a non-negotiable in your life. You are disciplined in this area. If you say you're going to do something as a man, you are going to hold to your word and be disciplined whether you are motivated or not. But what happens is intensity looks the complete opposite. The intensity looks like I am going to do and hope that something lands. And those two are not exactly the same. I can be intense and in my life, structure, different things of that nature, but I can also be highly unproductive. What that looks like is that I can be someone who wakes up early, goes to the gym, works really hard, eats healthy every now and then, but as a result, I lack time with my family, or not only am I lacking time with my family, I'm lacking time of sleep. I'm lacking sleep so that I can do all these other things. And so though I am moving forward on the outward, but on the outward I'm looking good, externally, internally, I'm collapsing. Internally, I'm falling and breaking down on the inside. But discipline says that I am going to invest in 7 and 8 hours of sleep. So I'm investing in myself. I'm going to invest in my mental health. I'm going to invest time with my children. I'm going to invest time with my work and my business. And I'm going to invest time with getting closer to God so that I can continue to lead and love my family well, so that I can continue to lead and love my community well. Right now, we are in a consistent age of consistency. We need to be consistent. As men, it's foundational. And back in 2020, we are in 2020. Inconsistency wrecks confidence. That's something that we also need to tackle. Back in April of 2025, I had been working with youth for over 10 years. I had been leading a nonprofit for about 2 years, and the nonprofit was just staying at a steady, slow pace. Not only that, like we would get kids coming through, but then they would leave, and it was just no consistency. And I was getting frustrated. I was getting discouraged with it all. One thing I remember is that God told me to just be consistent, to continue to show up, and to do it in a very specific way. To continue to do the classes that I was teaching with Taekwondo and kickboxing, but also add like a 10-minute Bible study in there for each class. And I was like, okay, how does this fix anything? God didn't answer that question. But what happened was, through consistency, on the Christmas break, we were able to celebrate Christmas with over 40 youth and their families. And so that is just a complete increase of having 8 students to now we have about 12 to 15 consistent students who are with our program, who have been around with us. Not only that, consistency helps us build those businesses. Consistency helps us to build with our families, with our children, with our wives, if you are married, whatever it may be. We want to be in positions where we are staying consistent, because when we are not consistent, well, we fail the people around us and ourselves. When we are not consistent, if you are married, those are the times when your spouse nags the most. Go do this, go do that, go do this, because you are consistently saying what you're going to do, but you are not following through. You are inconsistent. So if you are a man, you are inconsistent, especially in your 30s, you are going to limit your capacity to actually do. You're going to limit your capacity to be successful. You're going to keep yourself in a box, and you're going to put yourself in a position to where you cannot move forward. Last thing, being busy is not effective. Now, we live in this hyper grind culture where everybody's main focus is to be busy. Busy, busy, busy. Especially as men, if you are not busy, you are looked at with a sideways look. Are you being productive? Whatever. Being busy is not the same as being productive. So what I like to do, instead of telling people I'm busy, I like to tell people I've had a productive day, or I am being productive. Being productive for me means that I am walking my purpose. I am staying focused on my objectives, my goals, and my non-negotiables. I'm keeping those at the forefront, and I'm also remaining disciplined, right? And so some of my non-negotiables are 7 and 8 hours of sleep. That is non-negotiable for me. Another non-negotiable for me is exercise and fitness. I train Muay Thai. I compete as well, so I have to consistently train every single morning. Not only that, to fuel my body, to fuel me as a fighter, I have to eat and diet properly and eat well. So that's non-negotiable. I have a family that I need to support. I have 3 children, And so another non-negotiable is increasing my income and working hard and making sure that I'm doing what is necessary to protect and provide for my children, my family. So these are areas that are non-negotiable. And as I am focusing on these areas, I try to make sure that I am very productive in these areas. I also lead a nonprofit, and so with each of these areas, what happens is I have a business, I have a nonprofit. I try to make sure I am being productive in these areas. And so an easy example would be when it comes to my bedtime, I keep my bedtime no matter what. So if I'm working late, then I have to cut off my work by 8:30 so that I can get ready for bed and get in bed by 9 o'clock. And so that's non-negotiable. So I have to get work done during the day. So I don't have time to just really waste on just random things because of my discipline, the structure, the things that I have put in place. So listen, if your life feels chaotic, it's not just bad luck. It could just be a lack of structure. You have to make the choice of what you're going to do today, especially in this new year. It's 2026. You don't have to continue the same bad habits that you had all of last year. You can make and choose what habits you're going to implement today. One easy area, as I say, is just make up your bed every single day and clean up your space every single week. Those are small habits that you can do every single week. You can build discipline around those two areas. So if you don't feel like it, so what? Make up your bed. That's a non-negotiable. If you don't feel like cleaning up your living area, so what? Non-negotiable. Do it. Right? Start small and just continue to build on as the time goes on, and you'll begin to see that through structure, life becomes a whole lot less chaotic. What happens is we live in chaos, so chaos surrounds us. And if you're not living in chaos, then you begin to just walk in peace. And so that's what I want men to experience, is peace. So my question for you is this: where are you inconsistent? Is it in your body, your physical health, your mental health, your finances, or your faith? What areas are you inconsistent in? And let me know that in the comment. If you enjoyed this message, make sure you comment, you subscribe to the channel. My objective is to continue to call men to a higher standard. And so that's what we're going to be doing here. As we build this up, I want to build community for men to grow, to become warriors, to become priests, protected providers in their homes, and to become fighters for their families. So I'll see you next time. Grace and peace.